Did you know that the story of Abraham, the patriarch of faith, involves a mysterious and controversial decision about wife swapping? This biblical passage goes beyond what we might imagine, revealing details that shed light on the trials of an era filled with hardships. Stay with me until the end of this video, because today we're diving into this impactful narrative with its powerful lessons on trust, fear, and Abraham's complex journey of faith. Get ready to uncover the depths of this story and how even a man chosen by God faced unexpected challenges. Welcome to the Read and Praise channel. Before we start, go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel for more content like this, and share it with someone who is interested in lesser-known biblical themes. The story of Abraham and Sarah is one of the most intriguing and promises to surprise until the end. Shall we begin? The promise and the pressure. Abraham was a man to whom God made a grand promise. He would be the father of a mighty nation with descendants as countless as the stars in the sky. Yet this promise came with an agonizing weight and constant challenges. Abraham and his wife Sarah were already advanced in age, and as the years passed, the fulfillment of that promise seemed more and more distant. The pressure and doubts, even for someone of faith like Abraham, were inevitable. It is in this journey of uncertainty that the story leads us to Egypt. With famine ravaging the land of Canaan, Abraham had to take his family to find shelter and sustenance in foreign lands, and it's here he makes a controversial decision. Sarah, known for her beauty, even at 65 years old, easily attracted attention. Fearing for his own life, Abraham asked his wife to present herself as his sister. In those times, such a declaration wasn't uncommon, as powerful men could take married women for themselves, often killing their husbands if necessary. The reception in Egypt and divine protection. In Egypt, just as Abraham feared, Sarah's beauty quickly caught Pharaoh's attention, and she was taken to his palace. Now, Abraham faced a moral and spiritual dilemma. He had made a questionable decision to save his own life, but in doing so, placed his wife in great danger. Yet, the story takes an interesting twist. God directly intervenes, sending plagues upon Pharaoh's household. Suddenly, Pharaoh realizes something is wrong, that the woman he had taken was, in fact, Abraham's wife. Furious, not only with Abraham but also with the deceit, Pharaoh demands answers. Here, one of the story's greatest lessons emerges. Even amid human failures, God protects his own. Abraham and Sarah were expelled from Egypt, but they left with great provision, a testament to God's faithfulness and protection, even when Abraham relied on self-preservation. The repeat act and encounter with Abimelech. Curiously, this story doesn't end in Egypt. In a similar situation years later, Abraham finds himself in the land of the Philistines, in the territory of Gerar, where King Abimelech ruled. Driven by the same fear, Abraham once again presents Sarah as his sister. Yet the plan fails again, as King Abimelech, believing Sarah was indeed Abraham's sister, takes her for his harem. This time, God intervenes even more directly, appearing to Abimelech in a dream and warning him of the grave sin he was about to commit. Startled, Abimelech immediately returns Sarah to Abraham and confronts him, questioning the motives behind his deception. Abraham explains his fear that the men of that place did not fear God and might kill him for Sarah. The details and profound lessons. This double episode reveals a human side of Abraham that is often overlooked. Despite being known as the father of faith, Abraham was also a man with fears and insecurities. He wasn't perfect, and his fear for his own life led him to make decisions that put Sarah in danger. Yet, the most striking part is that God remained beside Abraham and Sarah, intervening directly and protecting them, showing his commitment to those who serve him, even when they fail. The repetition of these events shows that Abraham, like many of us, still had something to learn about fully trusting in God, He acted out of survival instincts and fear, but God used these situations to display his power and care. The plagues in Egypt and Abimelech's dream weren't punishments, but signs that God was acting to safeguard his promise. God wanted to show that the promise to Abraham and Sarah was secure, regardless of human schemes and plans. Reflections on human nature and God's faithfulness. At first glance, this story may seem disconcerting, but it carries powerful lessons about trusting God and human nature. What Abraham did can be hard to understand, but it shows that even the greatest of patriarchs had his weaknesses and limitations. Abraham's actions remind us that faith isn't always constant. It is tested and strengthened throughout life. And God, in his grace, does not abandon his own, but guides them back, showing that his promise is greater than human errors. Sarah also stands out in this narrative, not just for her beauty, but for her loyalty and faith. She could have refused Abraham's plan, but she chose to trust that God would care for her, even in the darkest situations. The story of Abraham and Sarah is therefore a reminder that faith in God requires courage, and that even amid uncertainties and missteps, he is faithful to fulfill his promises. And with that, we conclude this intriguing story of Abraham and Sarah, a narrative of faith, missteps, and God's infinite grace. It teaches us that faith is not the absence of fear, but the decision to trust God, even when we don't understand all his ways. If you enjoyed this in-depth analysis and were touched by this story, leave a like and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Share this video with friends and family who also seek to learn the valuable lessons from biblical stories. I'll leave related content in the cards and at the end of the video so you can further explore these rich biblical narratives. Finally, leave your comment. What do you think of Abraham's decisions? What lessons can we draw for our lives today? May God bless you and see you in the next video.